Sit comfortably, sit tall. If you close your eyes, then all the outer stimulation that's received by the eyes disappears. And you can look into the blackness of the inner space. You can spend a moment just to observe how far does that blackness go out beyond you? How far does it go out on each side of you? Infinitely expanding space. And then you can be aware of the space behind you. How far does it go? And then bring your awareness right into the center of your third eye and realize the space inside you. And as you sit in this space, we can then sit in a posture of eclipse with the apana vayu, the expiration, letting everything go out and down, downward movement, connect your pelvis to earth. Then equal and opposite to that apana vayu is the prana vayu, which is responsible for movement forward and up. It's in the region of the chest. And so as you inhale, feel that lifting and lengthening of your heart, your head, and your spine becomes vertical and erect. And then as you exhale again, it's called samana vayu, which governs all processing, digesting, assimilation. It's in your navel. And then the vayu that we have been working with today and all last week, without you knowing, is called udana vayu. And it's the wind or the inner wind that controls your voice. Your voice, we have been asking you to join us with your voice, to add your voice to the narrative of yoga. It's the fifth chakra around the throat region. It's called the udana vayu. And then the vyana, which is the all-encompassing total expansion of you, vayu. And from this expanded you, from the very center, the very core of your heart, bring your hands together in Anjali Mudra.
Teaching chant, call and respond. Oh, Sahana.
Sahana.
Sahana unaktu.
Sahana.
Saha viryam karavavai.
Saha viryam karavavai.
Tejasvi navadhitamastu.
Tejasvi navadhitamastu.
Vishavai. Francesca came with a beautiful idea to do a satsang. And the word satsang come from sat, which is a truth, and sang, sangha, which is a community. And it means basically to be in a company of a truth, and a company of like-minded, uplifting people who are on a spiritual path. And before, long time ago, I'll say traditionally, that satsang was always with a guru or enlightened person. But contemporary, it's also a time when we open a space for discussion or meditation or so-called teachings, though we all truly believe that we can't really teach you anything. We can just share our experience. And from our experience, you can reveal your inner wisdom. And even if we say something now that won't have much sense for you, something might happen in your life, some event that will reveal our experience and will give you understanding what we mean by that, what we wanted to say, what we wanted to transmit. But basically, it is a gathering for open discussion. And we're going to hold it in a form of Q&A, but possibly we might also do some chanting and some pranayama, depending on how it's all going to go. So we really, really appreciate to be together. That's why you don't see only John, but you also see Sandra and John and me. Yeah, so you can ask only John, or you can ask Sandra and me, or we would like to share something with you from our experience.
So I'll start with what does satsang mean to me? I've never been an academic. I've always been an inner child, and my inner child used to play. So I wasn't very diligent with my academic studies. Often misunderstood as ignorant, but I am ignorant, and we are all ignorant. I love the word now. I used to hate the word until I started realizing when you play with the word and the way it's put together, every word is so special and fascinating now. Ignorant is just a statement that you are ignoring. If you're ignoring what is, then you're ignoring the truth. So for me, the opposite to ignorance, which is what I've been studying and practicing and sharing all my life, is how to go back to our very first Sidhi, that Sidhi of Awareness. Because from awareness, if you are simply aware without any programming, without any bias in terms of your emotional memory and your associations and assumptions, you don't project your ignorance out, the veil comes down and you see what is. And so for me, the truth is, it's a difficult one. It's the second principle of Yama. We have Ahimsa, and then the second one is Satya, which is truth, or not telling lies. So what does truth mean? There's a truth for every one of us in this room. In this three-dimensional realm, there's a truth for every one of us, because every one of us has had a different experience. And as we witness any event, we all see it differently, especially when we're in relationship or in a dialogue. There's a his story and there's a her story. So as soon as I get to his story, her story, I'm sun and moon, or sun and earth, which means what we've got is a duality. So where there's duality, there's always going to be this or that. And where there's duality and there's this or that, his or her story, the two truths will never match. Oh, that makes it very difficult, doesn't it? So here we are in a yoga retreat, and basically the word is Hatha yoga, to bring the sun and moon energies together. The reason why we'll do some pranayama, as Julia mentioned, we might do a little bit of pranayama, is because we want to do some nadi shodhana, some aloma viloma, alternate nostril breathing, because the duality exists when the two nostrils are flowing at different rates. So whenever we're flowing with uneven nostrils, we are seeing it from my side. Each and every one of us see it from my side, me and it, which is a separation. And as Julia said, the Satsang is about coming together and coming to share together, because it's in that shared experience that we really reflect one another. And it's in the process of observing that reflection that we're able to start becoming more aware of ourselves, and that his, her this, that, I like, I don't like, duality. And so we didn't do the posture of Eclipse to start the class, but remember I used that posture of Eclipse, which is to balance the sun and moon, to eclipse the heart over the head. Because it's only when we're caught in all the head thinking that there is the this and the that. The heart knows no separation. And so when you catch yourself thinking, you're not aware of all that is. And all that is truth. So when you catch yourself thinking, my Guruji had 3 really good sutras. Yoga is mind control through a breathing system. So the moment you start to bring your awareness to your breath, you start to change the frequency of your brain. And it's almost like, I think Julia used the terminology like an elevator. Let's go for, like an elevator, go from the head, go down 4 floors. It's this one, the 4th floor, 1, 2, 3, 4 up. And that's where we want to be residing. And so when you're in your heart center, then we're in satsang.
That was interesting because John, when we sat down, John said, "What is truth to you?" And I never thought of it like that. It could be true from his story, and it could be true from her story to them. Truth to me is simply love, linked with creation. Maybe I could say love in creation, because when you see love, feel love, give love, there's no hiding, it just is as it is. So maybe before the his and her story, when you see the young couples in the early days, or the older couples who've had a happy life together, to me that is truth, love, but it's important that you start with yourself, truth for yourself, true to yourself. Learn how to love yourself, compassion for yourself, karuna. In Sanskrit, that is karuna. If you can come from that place of love, then you can share that love and compassion for others. So truth for me is quite a simple concept. It's not complicated to me.
And I would say, when we are in love, we're not anymore separate from everything. Like even we had a very bad day before, in the moment we're in love, everything becomes perfect. And we just start to see the trees, we start to connect to the sun, we can breathe, we can really feel. So we're unseparate from everything. And when we lose the love that we think comes from outside, we are in suffering again. The thing is that the second person only reflects our love. So when we feel love inside, and when we are loved, we are received, we experience the truth itself.
I just say a little bit more. I say we are not just because I love this. We are not feeling the truth to our intellectual things, but it's something come inside us, and this truth is something that is open our chakra, our feeling, and we got it. You don't know how it comes, but we just get it from inside. It's like someone who talks inside us, and it's coming out.
So we become in the truth itself. And from that place, everything that's perfect. And from that place, we are not judging anymore ourselves. And we're much more further to judge anyone else. And we experience the life, the truth itself. We're revealed to the truth of life, which is love, as Sandra said. But it's very easy to lose it. And I think the moment when we really lose it the most is when we start to judge. And today, when we were practicing, and we all felt the emotions in the shala.
E oggi durante la pratica abbiamo tutti sentito le emozioni.
I really started to feel compassion, karuna, because we are less compassionate to ourselves. That somehow, in this contemporary world, we really lost the ability of uplifting our own self. It's just be happy with what we do. And even we come to do a practice and our prayer to the universe, we still put our noise because we just don't know how to turn it off. And of course, I can talk only from my experience now. The only answer is awareness again. That we start to see what our mind can create and to really see this negative thinking, to really face it. But to understand that it's not you, it's a program and we all run it. And more people run it, even one person is free for a moment, but it's like a virus and another person starts again thinking negative and lose this awareness and then we're lost again. So I think that the only answer that the gatherings, the practice we do is about clearing these veils of the mind and this illusion that there's something wrong with us. And especially this feeling that we're not worthy of something, because this is the biggest illusion. We came here, we're here on that earth. We were given life and we were given breath. And from that moment, we are absolutely blessed. And the only thing that keeps us from enlightenment is the veils of the mind, and especially fear. More we really face that we can be in this fearful place and that we also judge. This is a moment that we can recognize that it's not truth and change it in that moment. And this is where the transformation starts. So when, for example, we are on our mats and the judgmental thought starts, ask yourself, who really thinks so? And is that true? Because you probably would find that it's just a creation of the mind and it's not real, because we are really perfect. We just need to clear like the onion or like a cabbage, the layers of the layers, to recognize that.
Would anyone like to offer, add, or question?
And can we welcome our viewers on Zoom? Thank them for coming. And if somebody here has a question, can we hear them?
And we talked a lot about children already, John. And when do children, because when they come to us, they have all this awareness and they are like real. But getting older and getting in their teenage years, do they lose it more? How can we teach this to them?
It's a very difficult situation that we have now because the Western world has completely materialized everything. So the child is already arriving into a system that's about to break. It's breaking. When we're in the womb, I think we're in the theta and delta brainwave frequency. Before we're in there, probably the gamma. But basically, when the child is born, it's in the theta stage. That's sort of like being in hypnotic state or a somatic state or just a total absorption state. So from 0 to 2, 2 to 5, 5 to 7, they're completely absorbing everything in. The Jesuits would say, "Give me the child, and for 7 years, and then I'll show you the man." And it's those first 7 years that all of the programs go in. There is a natural progression from that theta up to alpha, and so those teenage years are really, really crucial in terms of where the brainwave frequencies are changing. They fluctuate between all of them anyway. Basically, the baby's arriving into what I would say that the majority are all in the beta brainwave frequency, which is a real disturbed, distracted mind. It's really conversational, lots going on. each time we speak, we flip up into that beta brainwave frequency. When we sit and just listen and be calm, we come down into alpha. If we then go deeper and we start contemplating, we're starting into a more deep concentration meditation, we then drop into theta. We're fluctuating all the time, but let's say most people are residing up in the beta, up in the sympathetic nervous systems. The short answer to your question, Mano, is take the children back into the country, back into nature. Let's start moving away from the high density cities, back into communities, back into nature. It requires a whole new paradigm.
Mano, how old are your children?
12 and 14. What I just said today, I was on the phone and my little son was like nearly crying because his father took away the Wi-Fi from him, and he asked me to help somehow. And I was like telling him, it's not a problem. It's not, you don't need it. You do not need it. You are like what you say, I said to him.
Well,
But I couldn't get him.
speaking from personal experience, being a mum of a 23-year-old son, if you are doing your best to bring them up feeling nurtured, loved, not being afraid to discipline them, if you feel turning the Wi-Fi off at bedtime, it's okay.
Boundaries and borders.
Yes, children do need structure.
They ask for it.
Yeah, and boundaries. If you feel it's in their best interest, they will come through all that. They understand when they're older. If they've been brought up in truth, honesty and love, that's just all the little stuff. They'll know they're loved.
I can add something. First of all, that John mentioned that we need to really restructure everything. And why is it so important? Because now we see the structure when the man is in work and the woman, let's say father is in the work and mother is with the child. And on a social level, it doesn't work because for many, many generations, the children were living together and the mothers were living together. So in the moment when mom is left for a whole day with the child, it doesn't create any happiness. And when the dad is coming and dad is tired because of the work and the mom is tired because she was all day with the baby, it's normally collapse at some point, and we see it very often. And we see it because there's so many divorces. Even if love was there, just not strong enough to hold the situation, because the situation is at the base absolutely dysfunctional. And we need now to come back to the community. I see my friends there are moms, young moms who are alone, raising the children, and they're basically irritated. They're in a state of irritation, of not acceptance of the state. And I see the moms who are gathering together and the children are playing together and the moms are spending time together and talking, and they are just relaxing for that point. They really enjoying this time of being a mother. So I think for the early years, we just need to make changes in our society. It's time. And the moment that you mentioned 12, 13, 14 years, and in terms of the brain waves, this is the time when the children really learn the beta brain waves, when they really start to feel the ego, what is ego. And it also brings suffering. So in that point, if it's possible, it's very important to give them some kind of a practice. And even if in the beginning you feel the resistance, it probably will start work after a couple of attempts. And I think also in our contemporary family, we have a feeling that our child is becoming adult when it's 18. This is what we were taught, more or less. But it's really happening around 14, 15. They want to separate. And I think it's important to give this opportunity to start to be responsible for your life. Otherwise, it creates more and more tension in between, and they just want to separate more and more.
This was just not possible the last year because of the corona situation.
Yes.
Is it intended?
No. intended, so it's not.
No, I mean, is it intended, this separation, this isolation, this we've lost all connection to nature. We've lost all freedom to be free running and climbing trees. We've lost all connection to ceremony. And the 12-year-old, 13-year-olds have no more ceremony. There's no ceremony when they're being born. There's no ceremony when the period comes. There's no ceremony when the sperm comes. There's no killing anymore of an animal or whatever. There's no ceremony anymore. There's no initiation into womanhood. There's no initiation into manhood. And the society is crumbling because it's lost those connections, those vital connections to ceremony. Sorry.
No, I just wanted to add one thing, Mano.
I think just one positive thing that I can say about this situation that happens in the world is that really we're starting to realize how much we need one another. And it also a moment that when we recognize it, that we can really show it. Then that we're not anymore afraid of show how much we need one another. We're here in this manifested world to really experience the relationships. There's basically nothing more. We learn through the relationship with ourselves, with us, with the source, and with the universe. And this is how we grow.
And just to come back to Mano's particular problem, question, child on the phone, crying. Dad said no, asking mum for help, talking about relationship. From personal experience, it's important that you and your husband are unified, that you support him and that he supports you. The children will learn from that love, and he's there with them now.
Giving you space.
You're not, so do what Dad says. You support him from afar because you don't know what's gone on. Be in your space. Unified with your husband.
Can we talk a little bit about Yama Niyama? For instance, when you talk about attachment, right? So we're talking about all this unconditional love, giving love, receiving love. But the more you love someone, automatically there's more attachment. And when that person goes, it's going to be it's going to hurt even more. So that brings suffering.
Is that related to me?
Yes.
Yeah.
To me, love is freedom.
Then how do you explain when for instance, your mom passed away? You just...
Maybe I'm not the right person to answer because I'm fortunate that I have not suffered loss of parents. But I would know very well.
I'm very lucky to say that I had very loving parents, and all of the things that Sandra was sharing, I received from my parents. I also received initiation, also had a period of time where I didn't believe there was a generation gap. It wasn't until I actually left home that I realized I hadn't really start to know myself. So once the container of love was opened up to set me free in terms of my worldly exploration, I was free. I had a beautiful nest that I had left. And my mum said one time, my only regret was I helped you become too independent, which meant in my later years, she did not see much of me, but they celebrated in my life. I did, however, spend a lot of time with my mum before she passed, and I was holding her hand when she passed. I think in terms of the unveiling and the truth is we are all going to die, but what dies? So Sandra has already projected ahead that she knows her parents will always be with her. Julia has proposed that there was something before this physical life that we're being gifted, which implies we have a soul or an essence. And if you have this belief system, this life and the relationships that we then get into are all for us to experience what it is to have a human experience. And one of the things will be to, for example, I don't in this life in this body, this being, this John, this time, I didn't hold on to my mum or my dad when they passed. It was a celebration of their life when they passed. Before they passed, I told them how much of a good job they had done. And with such gratitude, thanked them for the beginning they gave me. And as Sandra says, I can confirm they are in me, of me, daily. How can I miss them? They could still be in New Zealand alive. But in fact, knowing that they are dead, they're actually closer to me. The patterns of belief, the programs, my parents were part of my first 7 years of programming. The first 7 years of my life, my parents were programming.
Did you grieve at all?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
What?
Did I grieve? I grieved, of course, I grieved the loss of my parents, but I only grieved the loss of having the physical presence with them. I have more than a physical presence with them now.
I think I would like to answer that because we have veils, and as I said, the veils are also fears. And one of my fears is that John will go before me. And it's big sometimes. It's big when I'm weak. It's big when I start to have noise and when I start to more hold to the world of matter. But more work I do, internal work, I understand that John is always with me. This connection already happened, and separation will never happen. But the mind doing very interesting thing. When the love comes, for example, to our world, the mind creates another story. What if you're going to lose it? Because the mind tries to take you out of this reality of happiness, of unseparateness, of love. And our work is to really realize that it is an illusion. And that's why everything that happens with us is just perfect, because it, as Santiago said, it happens for us. And John is the best teacher for me to show this illusion. And I can't feed myself with it. If we would meet 20 years ago, because I will live in the other reality, or I will live in a constant fear of the loss. If we will be separated, I mean, I'm answering like where you are. If we would be on a physical level separated, I'll find a way in this physical realm to be connected. Because I believe that there are always doors, we just need to find them.
That doesn't mean it's obviously can be incredibly difficult. You miss them. It's not easy. You could also celebrate what's come from them, what you do have with you in body still, if you have children or loved ones, siblings, or just dear friends, or just the simple fact that you are here. But it's okay to be sad. Hopefully that will get less over time for you.
The thing is that everything we experience here is really given. That we come naked and we go naked and we have experience of life. And when we hold on to it, we create more suffering. But there are moments if we just sit and just, if they're there just to connect with them or talk to them, they have this moment to really create that space where you could feel.
And we don't really know if they're gone. So talk to them anyway.
What is your view of truth versus Dharma? You talk about lovely things, but if someone's truth/Dharma is different to ours, we may perceive them a certain way or project onto them without being fully aware of the Dharma.
I would like to open the panel up to the audience and direct that question to Olef. If Olef would be prepared to answer the question, it would be wonderful to have.
Truth and Dharma. So from a general Indian perspective, I guess, truth and Dharma are two slightly different things. Dharma can be loosely translated as one's own way, one's own path within the larger framework of reality, which is truth. For example, my Dharma can be not to do handstands. Because the truth of gravity is different for me than, for example, say Rocco. So within the truth of gravity, my Dharma is different than Rocco's when it comes to handstands. Practical example of difference.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Though I think the question implied that we project the question is how do you project your Dharma onto somebody else's? So how would you project your handstand onto Rocco's or Rocco's handstand onto yours?
That's a difficult question. I know,
and G.
With projection, there's always some untruth happening, because projection implies a sort of filter as perceiving things not as they are, but as you would like them to be or hope them to. That would be my answer to projection.
I don't know if I understood the question correctly, but is it about projecting your own Dharma onto somebody else? Well, that's a classic us seeing things as we are, not as they are. We have to see things as they are, as it is, not as we are. And I think if you're coming from the right place, you're working or trying hard enough to follow your own Dharma or Svadharma, to be yourself. So I don't know if I understood the question, but if someone's feeling that they're being projected on to be a different way, just be yourself. Don't let someone else's projection land on you. Our practice, our self-practice of our yoga practice, is practice at being a self, finding our own way, our own truth. Ignore if someone's trying to project something else onto you.
I think this comes from probably from when we are conditioned, and we are after the age of 7 years, we are in a way certainly conditioned, right? So someone really, when you lose yourself on this path, and we are practicing, but there's a lot of people who are not practicing, who are not ready to look inside. So I think the question comes from that angle. Probably when you realize there's something is not quite right. Okay, I think it comes maybe from that angle.
It comes back to truth again, doesn't it?
When we realize there's some untruth again projecting onto us, how to deal with it, right?
I think simply I would say go with your gut. If something feels wrong, don't let it.
Yeah, to come back on it, maybe the question itself is a bit not to be rude or anything, but a bit moot. Because, for example, if we go to the Buddhist doctrine, the Buddha said there are 3 unthinkables, and one of them is when you talk about your Dharma or Swadharma, your own way. We talk about karma and the workings of karma. Following the Buddha, he said the workings of karma are incomprehensible, inconceivable for the unenlightened. So are the other 2 unthinkables, which are the thoughts of a Buddha and the state of enlightenment itself. Those are the 3 unthinkables. When you've reached a certain state, the question itself is answered by itself. So when we ask those questions, it can only come from our own avidya, our own ignorance. That would be a more Buddhist perspective. I don't know the context of the question. Because to ask this question really is like circular, because it comes from ignorance and it can only be grasped by ignorance, because words only go so far.
I want to connect to the thoughts that maybe it can be possible and handable to deal with the loss of a father, a mother, or a companion. But how about the loss of a son or daughter?
If I go back to Guruji's first sutra, yoga is mind control. It doesn't mean to say there's no karuna in there, there's no compassion in there, there's no suffering in there, there's no sympathy. But it's mind control. So I then question, what is this existence? And there's two things. One is we have mind to live intelligently. That's working with the 5 elements, the 5 senses, and in particular the 3 gunas. The rajas, sattva, tamas, the cycle of life, the cycle that the way energy flows. So to live intelligently is to flow with the cycle of energy. And let's say each and every one of us has a different life energy to live through, to flow through. So let's say that we live intelligently according to the flow of life is our Dharma. The second reason, or the second important thing, is we have mind for mind to look into mind. So if we're using mind to live intelligently, to flow with the life that we have been given, the Dharma that we have been given, we've all been given a river of life, then yoga is mind control, is to turn the mind in on that Dharma. And if part of your river of life is losing a parent or a son or an eye, we turn the mind in on itself to ask, what am I learning? Because I came to this 3-dimensional reality to have this life, to learn something. We learn many things in the river of life, and some things are more painful than others. And so to answer the question, and the question is that what is truth? One person's Dharma and another person's Dharma, and the word was project, not to project your Dharma onto someone else's Dharma. But as Julia said, we've come in here for relationship. So each of us have an individual uniqueness in our river of life. And rather than projecting stuff all around, let's reflect one another. So it's the reflection of one Dharma to someone else's Dharma. You get 2 lights of flash come together. Hello. Awakening, yes. There it is. The reflection of 2 Dharmas. The light that's reflected is the truth. And the truth is that light. So I go back. Yoga is mind control. Through breathing, this light of life is a flow of breath. We're going to turn the mind in on itself through the breath. We'll observe the breath. The breath will tell you how you're reacting to your situation. Yoga is mind control through a breathing system. And the method is counted method. What that counted method can stand for is simply counting or chanting Om, or anything between counting and chanting Om mantra. Mind control, breathing system, mantra clears away all that we need to learn. So each and one of us have a similarity in our Dharma. Why was I born again? What is it that I have to learn on this journey? And what will I be leaving behind in order to complete this journey? Yama, unfortunately, Iris has left us. For me, the simple translation of yama is simply your relational fields, your relational codes, not to harm yourself or harm others. That 5th chakra, the Udana Vayu, for growth, expression. It's your voice. And so we have to learn how to voice through relationship. We're not to steal. To steal, the most important thing that anyone has is time. It's taking someone else's time or wasting someone else's time. Then there's the brahmacharya one. The brahmacharya one is just do not waste your life force, and certainly don't waste it holding on to this physical body. Raja, Sattva, Tamas, it's inevitable. You're going to have a birth, a life, and a death. It's inevitable that you are born, you have a life, and you have a death. And so to sum all that up, we came right back to truth. What is your truth? And we use our mind, our breath, our mantra to find out what our self-realization is. That is niyama. For me, niyama is the purification of body, mind, to wash away all of the things that you aren't, to realize that you are a soul having a human experience, so why don't you enjoy it?
Live it.
Live it.
Be fully alive.
So when I mentioned about the most important thing that someone has is time, which relates to life, I'm always concerned of other people's time. So while we've had the pleasure to be sitting here and commune, each class that we've had, I'm always aware that when we overrun in time, the kitchen staff, this is how it works. If we don't have an awareness, we take other people's time. You can see the ripple effect of this. We don't arrive for dinner, they start getting stressed. The moment they start getting stressed, their breath rate goes up, body begins to shake a little bit. They're shaking off years. They're reducing their lifetime. Stress is one of the most damaging things to our life. The stress is what shortens our lifespan. Quite simple. A little mouse has a little fast little breath, and the elephant, the two have different lifespan. The mosquito has a different lifespan. And so in order to realize the mind control comes through the breathing system, we must do a little bit of breathing. It's now 6:45. We'll do a little bit of breathing. We won't do a full pranayama. We'll do that Tuesday. And then we'll finish with a chant. So what do you have to do? Sit up comfortably, sit tall. That's a little bit hard, isn't it? It's a little bit hard to immediately sit up tall. So let's change the cycle a little bit. Let's do a stretch. Yeah, so we need to tune up that central column. Dway, exhale, flexion. Trini, inhale, extension. Chatwari, exhale, flexion. Pancha, inhale, extension. Shat, exhale, flexion. Sapta, inhale, extension. Going to the right side. Ashto, exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Another back up to extension. Left side. Desha, exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Ekadasha, inhale, extension. Then a beautiful spiral down into a rosebud. Tight little rosebud, spiral into a ball. Then inhale, spiral tall. And exhale up far to the right. Trayodasha, back up to extension. Shatadasha, exhale, spiral down to the left side into little rosebud. Imagine the spiral right in the center. And then inhale, spiral tall. And exhale, look far to the left. And Panchadasha, inhale. Exhale your hands down onto your knees. Now close your eyes and for a moment just feel the energy in your body. All of those actions of the spine are still there. The frequencies of them are still there. Vertical self-supporting spine is emerging a fusion of all of those actions. Exhale, imagine your pelvis is the earth. And then inhale a great distance between the pelvis, earth, and head, sun. And then as you exhale, position the heart moon perfectly centered between head, sun, pelvis, earth, creating an internal eclipse, a solar eclipse. So if you were standing on the top of the pelvis earth at 12 midday looking directly up at head sun, the heart moon would be perfectly aligned. And in doing so, blocking the full light of the head sun, creating a nimbus, a halo, a radiance of light. And so here we sit in our own internal radiance, making a conscious shift from body to breath, how the exhalation connects you right down into earth, and the inhalation tall up through the spine, giving length to the breath. Then exhale again, the navel towards the lumbar. Then inhaling wide, give width to the breath, to the side ribs and armpit. And as you exhale, resolve back into the midline, right down to the root. And then the most difficult dimension, the third dimension, is to breathe to the back door of the heart. That space between the shoulder blades. Last, the sternum. And then exhale. So the breath has 3 dimensions. Let's breathe long, wide, and deep. Exhale. Now you can hear the sound of the breath already. So the first sense of hearing, direct the sense of hearing to the breath. With a relaxed body, relaxed face, so that the soft flesh of the nostrils, the skin, can then connect to the sense of touch and the element air flowing in and out of your nostrils. With your eyes closed and you're looking in, see if you can visualize the space outside the body flow in as you breathe into the inside space. And then as you breathe out, you're breathing that inside space to the outside space. And then the sense of taste, you're taking that breath through to the back of the throat, where you're metering and filtering the breath. It takes you back to the sound and the space associated with the sense of hearing as you drink the breath, like a connoisseur. Sense of hearing, touch, sight, taste, and last of all, the sense of smell. Using your imagination, can you imagine the inner garden, your inner garden? As you breathe in, breathe the fragrance of the flowers. As you breathe out, give the fragrance out. Remembering that Mother Earth is loving us into existence. This inner garden is your Mother Earth. So on the inhalation, receive that inhalation with love and give that exhalation back with love. You're receiving love 3-dimensionally, and you're sending that love out 3-dimensionally to the world around you. Keeping all 5 senses focused in on the breath. This is pratyahara. Preparing your hands for a focus 12, with the thumb on the left hand on the base of the index finger. To synchronize our breathing, inhale together. Rechaka, long and fine. Ekam, Puraka. Ekam, Rechaka, thumb to the middle of the index finger. Dve, Puraka. Dve, Rechaka, tip of the first finger. Trini, Puraka. Trini, Rechaka, tip of the second finger. Chatvari, Puraka. Chatvari, Rechaka, tip of the ring finger. Pancha, Puraka. Pancha, Rechaka, tip of the little finger. Shat, Puraka. Shat, Rechaka, slide down to the middle of the little finger. Sapta, Puraka. Sapta, Rechaka, down to the base of the little finger. Ashta, Puraka. Ashta, Rechaka, to the base of the ring finger. Nava, Puraka. Nava, Rechaka to the base of the second finger. Desha, Puraka. Desha, Rechaka to the middle of the second finger. Ekadasha, Puraka. Ekadasha, Rechaka, across to the middle of the ring finger. Dwadasha, Puraka. Dwadasha, and exhale. Exhale, release the hands. Continue inhaling at the same length. It's about a 6 beat. So let's exhale to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is Ujjayi. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Samavritti, stretching to 7 on the exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good sound. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale to 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Very good. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. Exhale. Keep the sound. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Stretching to 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Very good. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Exhale to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Very good. Keep the sound. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Rechaka Kumbhaka. Exhale to empty. You can flex the spine. On empty, Mula Bandha, Jalahal Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, Kumbhaka. Lift the shoulders up, roll the shoulders back down. Release the abdomen, release the throat. Exhale a little bit more. Then long and fine in. One clearing breath. Exhale. One. Inhale. One. And Rechaka Kumbhaka. Exhale to empty. Mula Bandha, Jalahala Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, shoulders, Kumbhaka. Release the abdomen, release the throat. Exhale a little bit more, then long and fine in. One full clearing breath. Exhale. One. Inhale. One last round of Rechaka Kumbhaka. Exhale to empty. Mula Bandha, Jalahala Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, shoulders, Kumbhaka. Releasing the abdomen, release the throat. Exhale a little bit more. Then inhale long and fine. 3 clearing breaths. Exhale. 1. Inhale. 1. Exhale. 2. Inhale. 2. Exhale. 3. Inhale. 3. Exhale. Now preparing for Puraka Kumbhaka, which is a full inhalation retention. Inhaling to full. At the top of full, Mula Bandha, Jalahala Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, shoulders Kumbhaka. Releasing the abdomen, release the throat. Breathe in more first, a little bit more first, and then long and fine out. 1 clearing breath. Inhale. 1. Exhale. 1. Puraka Kumbhaka. Inhale to full. Mula Bandha, Jalahala Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, shoulders, Kumbhaka. Releasing the abdomen, release the throat. Inhale a little bit more. Long and fine out. Clearing breath, inhale. 1, exhale. 1 last round, Puraka Kumbhaka, inhale to full. Mula Bandha, Jalahala Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, shoulders Kumbhaka. Release the abdomen, release the throat. Inhale a little bit more. Long and fine out. 3 clearing breaths. Inhale. 1, exhale. 1, inhale. 2, exhale. 2, inhale. 3, exhale. 3, with your right hand, first 2 fingers curl down to the base of the thumb, so you then use your thumb and ring finger to just meter and monitor the flow of air. It's just a very gentle pressure, and we want to see if we can make both nostrils the same, so you adjust the pressure accordingly. We're going to breathe through both nostrils, inhale through both. Close the left nostril subtly and breathe out through your right sun channel. Inhale through your right sun channel. Close right, exhale out left moon channel. Inhale through the left moon channel. Close, exhale out through the right sun channel. Inhale through right sun channel. Close, exhale, left moon channel. Inhale through left moon channel. Close, exhale, right sun channel. This time I want you to breathe the love in from Mother Earth. Receive the love. Take it all the way in through your right nostril, sun channel, and right up into your third eye. And hold it up in your third eye. Hold it. Releasing the left moon channel, exhale slowly, return the love, give the love back. Then inhaling the love all the way in through the left moon channel. This time pick up some light and take it right up into the third eye and hold. Releasing the right nostril, exhale out through the right sun channel. Inhale, right sun channel, receive love, light, third eye, close, hold. Release left moon channel, give with love, bathe in the light of love. So bathing in the light of love, draw the love into the third eye. Close, hold. And release, exhale, sun channel. Inhale, receive love. Light. Third eye, hold. Release moon and exhale. Bathe in the light of love. Last one up the left moon channel. Inhale, receive with love. Light. Third eye, hold. Releasing your hand, exhale through both. Bathe in the light of your own love and light. Let the breath flow in naturally. Keep your eyes closed. Simply watch the breath.
We will finish with mantra. From darkness to light. Or we also can say from ignorance to truth. From impurity to purity. From mortality to immortality. Goes like that. If not anyone know. Asatoma Sat Gamaya.
Asatoma Sat Gamaya.
Tamasoma Jyotir Gamaya.
Tamasoma Jyotir Gamaya.
Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya.
Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya.
So first I will sing the mantra, then we're going to do call and respond, and in some point we will just sing it together to keep one vibration. Call and respond. Asatoma Satgamaya. Asatoma Satgamaya. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Asatoma Satgamaya. Asatoma Satgamaya. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. Together. Asatoma Sargamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Prityorma Amritangamaya Asatoma Sargamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Prityorma Amritangamaya Asatoma Sargamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Prityorma Amritangamaya
Grazie mille.
Thank
I
you.
would like to thank John and the team and Santiago for helping with everything, for this opportunity of sharing with our little community here in Salento, not only of the guests coming from abroad, but also for the local yogis. It's been really great. Thank you so much for allowing this to happen. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you so much for our guests on the other side. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for being connected. Thank you for the connection.